Imagine a life where no one's words, actions, or negativity could shake you, a life where your inner peace remains unshaken, no matter what. Sounds impossible? It's not. The truth is, anger and frustration only have power over you when you allow them to. In this speech, we're going to explore how you can build a mindset so resilient, so calm, that no one can ever disrupt your peace. Let's unlock the key to mastering your emotions and living a life free from unnecessary stress. Emotional control is one of the most powerful skills you can develop in life. It's the ability to take charge of your feelings rather than letting them control you. When someone does or says something that angers or bothers you, it's easy to believe they're the cause of your emotions. But the truth is, no one has that kind of power over you unless you give it to them. Reacting impulsively to others isn't just a sign of anger. It's a sign that you've handed over control of your inner world to external forces. Mastering emotional control means understanding that your reactions are a choice. Think about this. When someone pushes your buttons, what they're really doing is revealing the areas where you've left yourself vulnerable. Their words or actions are merely triggers. The real issue lies in how you interpret those triggers and the stories you tell yourself about them. For instance, if someone criticizes you, you may feel attacked because deep down, you've tied your self-worth to others' opinions. But what if you shifted your mindset? What if, instead of reacting, you paused and realized their words say more about them than about you? That's the first step to taking back your power. Emotional control isn't about suppressing how you feel. It's about understanding those feelings. Anger, frustration, and irritation are natural emotions, but they don't have to dictate your actions. When you feel anger bubbling up, ask yourself, why am I allowing this situation to upset me? Often the answer lies in unmet expectations or a perceived threat to your ego. By identifying the root cause of your reaction, you can detach from it. You start to see that you're not a puppet being controlled by someone else's strings. You're the one holding the strings. This shift in perspective is liberating. It allows you to move from being reactive to being intentional. Instead of reacting with anger, you can respond with clarity. This doesn't mean you won't feel frustrated or annoyed from time to time, but it does mean you'll be in control of how you handle those emotions. You'll no longer waste energy on people or situations that don't deserve it. Here's a simple yet effective practice. Pause before you react. When someone says or does something that triggers you, take a moment to breathe. This pause is powerful. It creates space between the stimulus and your response, giving you time to choose a reaction aligned with your values and goals. In that pause, you can remind yourself that your peace is more valuable than engaging in negativity. You can remind yourself that their actions reflect their reality, not yours. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Your initial instinct might be to get angry, honk your horn, or mutter something under your breath. But what does that accomplish? Your anger won't change their behavior. It won't make the situation better. In fact, it only disrupts your peace. Instead, try this: smile, breathe, and let it go. I think of it as a test of your emotional strength. The less you react, the stronger you become. Building emotional control takes practice, but it's worth the effort. It's about learning to respond from a place of wisdom rather than reacting from a place of impulse. It's about recognizing that your emotions are yours to manage. You don't have to let the outside world dictate your inner state. Each time you choose calm over anger, you're training your mind to prioritize peace over chaos. You're reclaiming the power that's always been yours. You see, life will always throw challenges your way. There will always be people who push your buttons, situations that test your patience, and moments that seem unfair. But you don't have to be a victim of those moments. You can rise above them. You can decide that your peace is non-negotiable, that no one's words or actions are worth sacrificing your emotional well-being. When you master emotional control, you don't just improve your own life, you inspire others to do the same. People will notice your calmness and strength. They'll wonder how you stay so composed in the face of adversity. And the truth is, it's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing to live a life where your emotions serve you, not the other way around. Shifting your perspective is one of the most transformative steps you can take to stop anger and frustration from controlling your life. The way you see a situation determines how you react to it. Often, anger arises not because of what's happening, but because of the meaning we attach to it. Imagine someone cuts in front of you in line, speaks rudely, or criticizes you. Your initial reaction might be to feel offended or disrespected. But what if instead of reacting, you paused and asked yourself a simple question? Is this worth my peace? The truth is, most situations that trigger us lose their significance when we look at them with a different lens. Perspective is everything. When you choose to view challenges or difficult people as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles, your entire emotional response changes. For instance, if someone criticizes you, it's easy to feel attacked. But if you shift your perspective, you can see their criticism as either an opportunity to learn or simply a reflection of their own issues. People often project their insecurities, frustrations, or fears onto others, and their negativity has more to do with them than with you. By seeing things from this angle, you can detach yourself from the situation and remain calm. Reframing a situation doesn't mean ignoring it or pretending it doesn't exist. It means consciously choosing how to interpret it. Take setbacks, for example. If something doesn't go your way, instead of thinking, this is unfair, you can reframe it by asking, what is this teaching me? Every challenge carries a lesson, and every negative encounter is an opportunity to practice patience, resilience, and understanding. When you adopt this mindset, you'll start to see that most situations aren't as personal as they seem. They're simply moments that test your ability to stay grounded. Another way to shift your perspective is to cultivate curiosity. When someone's behavior bothers you, ask yourself why they might be acting that way. Maybe the rude person in line is having a bad day. Maybe the driver who cut you off is rushing to an emergency. While their behavior isn't justified, viewing it through a lens of curiosity rather than judgment helps you let go of anger. Curiosity opens the door to empathy, and empathy makes it harder for frustration to take root. Shifting your perspective also means focusing on what you can control rather than what you can't. You can't control how others behave, but you control how you respond. Think about it. Every time you react to someone's negativity, you're giving them power over your emotions. You're allowing them to dictate how you feel. But when you shift your focus inward and realize that your reaction is your choice, you take back that power. You stop letting others' actions determine your mood, and you start prioritizing your peace over temporary frustration. Here's a simple yet powerful exercise to help shift your perspective. Whenever you feel yourself getting angry or bothered, pause and ask yourself, how will this matter a week from now, a month from now, a year from now? Most of the time, you'll realize that the situation is trivial in the grand scheme of things. It's not worth your energy or attention. By zooming out and seeing the bigger picture, you can let go of minor irritations and focus on what truly matters. Life is full of unexpected challenges, but your perspective shapes how you experience them. You can see difficult people as obstacles, or you can see them as teachers who give you opportunities to practice patience and understanding. You can view setbacks as failures, or you can see them as stepping stones to growth. Every situation holds the potential to teach you something valuable, but it's up to you to look for the lesson. When you shift your perspective, you're not just changing how you see the world, you're changing how the world affects you. You're creating a mindset that prioritizes peace over conflict, growth over negativity, and understanding over anger. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, it becomes second nature. And once it does, you'll find that you're no longer as easily shaken by life's challenges. You'll approach situations with a calmness and clarity that others will admire. Ultimately, perspective is about reclaiming your power. It's about deciding that no one else gets to determine how you feel or how you live your life. When you take control of your perspective, you take control of your emotions, your reactions, and your happiness. You create a life where peace isn't just something you experience, it's something you embody. And that, more than anything, is how you stop letting others' behavior bother you. Mastering the art of detachment is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining inner peace. Detachment doesn't mean becoming indifferent or emotionally cold. It means separating your emotional state from the words, actions, or opinions of others. When you practice detachment, you free yourself from the weight of trying to control or influence things outside of your power. It's about recognizing that other people's behavior is a reflection of their world, not yours. By learning this, you can stop taking things personally and protect your peace regardless of the situation. Detachment starts with accepting a simple truth. You cannot control how others act, think, or feel. People will say things you don't agree with, make choices that don't align with your values, and behave in ways that seem unfair. That's their business, not yours. The more you try to change or control them, the more frustrated you'll become. Detachment allows you to let go of this need for control and focus on what you can influence: your own thoughts, feelings, and actions. When you let go of the desire to fix or correct others, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster their behavior might otherwise create. A common source of anger and frustration is taking things personally. When someone is rude or disrespectful, it's easy to assume it's about you. But in most cases, it's not. People's actions are often a reflection of their inner struggles, insecurities, or frustrations. When you understand this, it becomes easier to detach emotionally from their behavior. Instead of reacting with anger, you can observe their actions from a place of neutrality. You can remind yourself that their negativity is a projection of their own issues and has nothing to do with your worth or value. Detachment also means letting go of unrealistic expectations. Sometimes we expect people to act a certain way or meet certain standards, and when they don't, we feel disappointed or angry. But the reality is, everyone is on their own journey with their own perspectives, experiences, and challenges. Expecting others to always behave in a way that aligns with your ideals sets you up for frustration. Detachment allows you to release these expectations and accept people as they are, not as you wish they would be. This doesn't mean tolerating disrespect or harmful behavior, but it does mean freeing yourself from the constant need to judge or control others. One of the most effective ways to practice detachment is to focus on your own energy and well-being. When you invest too much energy in what others are doing or saying, you deplete your emotional reserves and give them control over your peace. Instead, shift your focus inward. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel in this moment? What can I do to maintain my sense of calm and balance? This inward focus allows you to stay grounded and centered, even in the face of external chaos. Another powerful tool for detachment is mindfulness. When you're fully present in the moment, you're less likely to get caught up in the drama of what others are doing or saying. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, creating space between you and your reactions. For example, if someone's words upset you, mindfulness helps you pause, acknowledge your feelings, and let them pass without acting on them. This practice builds emotional resilience and prevents you from being swept away by temporary emotions. Detachment is also about boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. It's about recognizing when your thoughts and emotions are leading you down a path of unnecessary stress or anger. For instance, if you find yourself replaying a negative interaction in your mind, you can choose to let it go instead of dwelling on it. Remind yourself that overanalyzing or holding on to negativity only harms you. By setting boundaries with your own mind, you take back control of your inner state. Ultimately, detachment is a skill that takes time and practice to develop. It requires self-awareness, patience, and a commitment to prioritizing your peace. But as you practice it, you'll notice a profound shift in how you experience life. You'll find yourself less affected by others' negativity, more grounded in your own values, and more at ease in challenging situations. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care about yourself enough to not let external forces dictate your emotional well-being. When you master detachment, you step into a space of emotional freedom. You realize that your happiness isn't dependent on anyone else's behavior or approval. You become the guardian of your own peace, and that peace becomes unshakable. No matter what others say or do, you remain calm, centered, and in control of your inner world. That is the true power of detachment. Practicing empathy over ego is a transformative approach to dealing with anger and frustration. It shifts your focus from self-centered reactions to understanding the perspectives and emotions of others. Often, when someone says or does something that bothers you, your ego kicks in, interpreting their actions as an attack on your dignity, values, or sense of self. This reaction stems from a desire to protect your pride and prove your worth. However, letting the ego drive your emotions only leads to more conflict, tension, and inner turmoil. Replacing ego with empathy allows you to see situations in a new light and respond with calmness and compassion. Empathy begins with the willingness to step outside of yourself and consider why someone might be acting a certain way. Instead of assuming the worst, ask yourself what they could be experiencing that's influencing their behavior. Maybe they're having a tough day dealing with personal challenges or simply unaware of how their actions affect others. While their behavior may not be excusable, understanding their perspective softens your reaction. It creates a space where you can respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. When someone is rude or dismissive, for example, it's easy to feel offended or angry. But if you pause and ask, what might this person be going through right now? It shifts the narrative. Perhaps they're stressed, overwhelmed, or dealing with pain you can't see. Empathy doesn't mean excusing bad behavior. It means recognizing that everyone has struggles, and their actions are often a reflection of their inner world, not an attack on you personally. This understanding helps you detach emotionally and avoid unnecessary anger. Practicing empathy also involves recognizing your shared humanity with others. No one is perfect, and we've all had moments where we acted out of frustration, fear, or misunderstanding. When you remember that others are just as flawed and human as you are, it becomes easier to give them grace. You start to see their mistakes or negative behavior as moments of weakness rather than deliberate attempts to hurt you. This perspective not only reduces your anger, but also fosters deeper compassion. Another powerful aspect of empathy is learning to listen actively. Often conflicts arise because we focus more on defending our point of view than understanding the other person's. When you truly listen, without interrupting or formulating a response in your mind, you open the door to connection and understanding. You might discover that their actions were misunderstood, or that their intentions weren't as negative as they seemed. Active listening allows you to respond from a place of clarity and understanding rather than assumptions and defensiveness. Empathy also requires you to let go of your need to be right. Many arguments and frustrations stem from the ego's desire to prove itself. When someone challenges your beliefs or actions, your ego feels threatened, and you may react by doubling down, trying to win the argument, or assert dominance. But this often escalates conflicts and leaves both parties feeling worse. By choosing empathy over ego, you prioritize understanding and resolution over being right. You realize that winning an argument is far less important than preserving your peace in relationships. Practicing empathy doesn't mean ignoring your own feelings or letting others walk all over you. It's about balancing self-respect with understanding. You can acknowledge that someone's behavior is hurtful or inappropriate, while still choosing to respond with kindness and compassion. This approach not only protects your emotional well-being, but also sets an example for others. When you respond to negativity with empathy, you break the cycle of anger and create an opportunity for healing and growth. Empathy also helps you take a step back and recognize patterns in your own reactions. When someone's behavior triggers you, it's often because it touches on a deeper fear, insecurity, or unresolved issue within yourself. For example, if you feel disrespected by someone's comment, it might be because you're seeking validation or approval. By practicing empathy, you not only seek to understand others, but also gain insight into your own emotional triggers. This self-awareness allows you to approach situations with greater emotional intelligence and control. As you cultivate empathy, you'll notice a significant shift in how you perceive and handle conflict. Instead of seeing others as adversaries, you'll begin to see them as individuals navigating their own struggles, just like you. This perspective reduces feelings of anger and replaces them with understanding. It also strengthens your relationships, as people are naturally drawn to those who respond with kindness and patience. Empathy is a skill that takes practice, but its rewards are profound. It allows you to rise above petty conflicts and emotional outbursts, creating a sense of peace and strength within yourself. It empowers you to handle difficult situations with grace and wisdom, making you a source of calm in the storm. By choosing empathy over ego, you reclaim your emotional freedom and build a life rooted in compassion and understanding. In the end, empathy doesn't just help you avoid anger, it transforms your entire approach to life, making you a more grounded, patient, and resilient person. Strengthening your inner peace is the foundation of living a life where no one can disturb your emotional balance. Inner peace doesn't mean avoiding challenges or pretending negativity doesn't exist. It means creating a mindset so grounded and resilient that external circumstances no longer control your emotions. It's about finding calmness within yourself, regardless of the chaos that may surround you. Cultivating this state of mind requires conscious effort, but the rewards are life-changing. When your inner world is strong, the outer world loses its ability to disrupt your peace. The first step in building inner peace is learning to focus on what truly matters. Often we get upset or angry about things that have little lasting significance. A harsh comment, an unkind gesture, or a minor inconvenience can feel overwhelming in the moment. But when you step back and look at the bigger picture, you realize how insignificant these things are in the grand scheme of life. Ask yourself, will this matter a week from now? A year from now? This perspective helps you prioritize your energy, saving it for the people and situations that genuinely deserve your attention. Letting go of trivial frustrations clears the path for greater calm and clarity. Another key aspect of inner peace is developing mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches you to live in the present moment, instead of being consumed by regrets about the past or worries about the future. When you're fully present, you're less likely to dwell on what others said or did. Mindfulness helps you notice your thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them. For example, if someone says something that angers you, mindfulness gives you the space to observe your feelings without reacting impulsively. You can acknowledge your emotions, let them pass, and choose a response that aligns with your values instead of letting anger dictate your actions. Gratitude is another powerful tool for strengthening inner peace. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you naturally shift your attention away from negativity. It's impossible to feel truly angry or bothered when your mind is filled with gratitude. Make it a daily practice to reflect on the things you appreciate, no matter how small. It could be the kindness of a friend, the beauty of nature, or even the simple joy of having a roof over your head. Gratitude wires your brain to seek the positive, making it harder for external negativity to take hold. Strengthening your inner peace also requires setting boundaries. Protecting your mental and emotional energy is essential, and that means saying no to people or situations that drain you. It's okay to walk away from arguments, avoid toxic environments, or distance yourself from individuals who consistently bring negativity into your life. Setting boundaries isn't about being selfish. It's about respecting yourself enough to prioritize your well-being. The more you protect your inner space, the stronger and more peaceful it becomes. Another essential practice is self-reflection. Taking time to understand yourself, your triggers, fears, and emotional patterns helps you respond to situations with greater awareness. When you know what upsets you and why, you can prepare yourself to handle those situations calmly. Self-reflection also allows you to identify areas where you need to grow. For example, if you notice that criticism often bothers you, you can work on building your self-confidence so that others' opinions no longer affect you as deeply. By knowing yourself, you become less reactive and more in control of your emotions. Building inner peace also involves forgiving yourself and others. Holding on to resentment, regret, or guilt only creates emotional clutter that disrupts your calm. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing bad behavior. It means releasing the hold that anger or hurt has over you. When you forgive, you free yourself from the burden of carrying negativity. It's an act of self-liberation that strengthens your ability to stay peaceful in the face of challenges. Taking care of your physical well-being also plays a significant role in maintaining inner peace. Your body and mind are deeply connected, and neglecting one can affect the other. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep help regulate your emotions and make you more resilient to stress. Activities like yoga, meditation, or even a simple walk in nature can have a calming effect on your mind, helping you stay centered in difficult situations. Finally, embracing acceptance is a cornerstone of inner peace. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or ignoring problems. It means acknowledging reality without resisting it. When you resist what's happening, you create inner conflict, which leads to frustration and stress. But when you accept things as they are, you free yourself from the need to fight against them. Acceptance allows you to respond to challenges with clarity and purpose, rather than wasting energy on wishing things were different. Inner peace is not something you achieve overnight. It's a lifelong practice. It's about consistently choosing calm over chaos, understanding over anger, and growth over negativity. The stronger your inner peace becomes, the less power others will have to disturb it. You'll find that you no longer react to people or situations out of habit, but instead respond with intention and grace. This strength doesn't just protect you from external negativity, it transforms your entire experience of life, allowing you to face challenges with courage and resilience. Inner peace is your greatest source of power, and when you cultivate it, no one can take it away from you.